Welcome back, True Seeker. It is Monday, October 16th, 2023. And all day today, the media has been talking about how it's imminent that Israel will invade Gaza. A ground force attack, they keep saying. And they're saying it's probable they'll go in the middle of the night because they're well equipped for night raids, whereas Hamas is not. And notice, October 17th, which is Tuesday. Tuesday is named after Mars. Mars is the god of war. But Tuesday, October 17th, is the day leaving 75 days left in the year. And of course, Israel is 75 years old right now. And for many a years, we've been talking about this New York Times headline from October 6th, 1940, which was a date with 75 numerology, where the headline said, New World Order pledged to Jews. Arthur Greenwood of British War Cabinet sends message of assurance. Here, righting of wrongs, seen English rabbi delivers to Dr. S.S. Wise new statement on question after war. I mean, quite a headline there. Arthur Greenwood would die at age 74, meaning he died in his 75th year of life. And again, 10 plus 6 plus 19 plus 40, 75. That's one of the paths for the date numerology that headline emerged. Gematria, which is numbers and words coming from Hebrew and Kabbalah, in the English language, all of these words equal 75, or these names and phrases. World War III, when 3 is written I. World War III, 75. Order out of chaos, 75. New World Order, 75. Again, the New World Order pledged to Jews. Now Israel's 75. They're on the verge of this ground campaign that they're saying could trigger other nations to get involved. You know, they could be tipping over the dominoes for World War III. Again, New World Order 75. There's a small way and a big way if you're new here, but it's all based on the alphabetic order. The word order alone is 75. Catholic Church is 75. Again, who pledged it to the Jews? The New York Times always been run by the Jesuits, the military order of the Catholic Church. Roman Catholic is 75. Great Tribulation 75. A lot of people think right now these are the signs of the Great Tribulation, the 7 years of destruction before the return of Jesus, or for the Jews, the arrival of the Messiah. But we've been talking about this for a long time. And again, when Netanyahu came back on 12/29, I put out a video that day, and I said why there'd be war in Israel this year, and why he came back on Albert Pike's birthday, who wrote the letter about 3 world wars, a letter that was published August 15th, 1871, on the Jesuit order's birthday. 1871, emphasis on 71, because Catholic is 71, and Temple is 71, and they've made Temple Mount the focus. And the war began October 7th, 71 days before the Pope's upcoming birthday on December 17th. And also on Putin's 71st birthday, and it looks like Hamas is funded by intelligence, just like how the Mujahideen was funded by intelligence, and it made Osama bin Laden powerful, and supposedly that's how it got to Al-Qaeda in 9/11. And then we're invading Afghanistan on Symbolic Day, and then 22 years to the day later, it's war in Israel. And they're talking about Revelation and Revelation's 22 chapters to go with the 22nd anniversary. And CNN for the last 24 hours had a headline up about how the Middle East is on the verge of the abyss. And the word abyss is used constantly throughout Revelation, including in Revelation 9:11, where Satan emerges from the abyss. And again, Israel, the synagogue of Satan, and Gematria, the synagogue of Satan, 223, like Philadelphia, very similar to the year 2023. Again, you guys, what we're living out is sick. And you turn on cable news, it's just like after 9/11. A bunch of sick psychopaths lying to the populace about everything and trying to dupe them into some form of mind control so they go along with their terrorist agenda. This is exactly what happened with 9/11, which was a total false flag. It's the exact same thing all over. Just this time they didn't demolish 2 buildings, 110 stories in the middle of Manhattan. But it's the exact same thing on the news. Psychopaths getting on there, essentially making it seem like everybody should want to go to war and get into Gaza and kill these bad guys. But the reality is, Gaza is mostly just a place left with children because everybody's already been killed. So For all you guys who have Netflix, it's funny, just to mock you, they put up the documentary Born in Gaza from the last time Israel went in there hardcore in 2014, and pretty much just an interview of a bunch of children throughout the movie who survived. You know, pictures of them having to get their surgery because got hit by shrapnel, and just like these kids that are just dumbfounded about they're like, we were just playing soccer in a field when the bombs went off, and those 8 kids over there blew up, and we got shrapnel in our bellies and our legs. It's just like, it's sick. And pretty much everyone on TV right now is telling you, yeah, go in and attack the land of the little kids. Go blow up the little kids for Israel's obvious false flag. And for every person who'd argue that it wasn't an obvious false flag, again, you're coming to a place where we have knowledge and information and we're accurately forecasting day after day. And here, boom, from Netanyahu's return on December 29th, the anniversary of Albert Pike's birthday, who wrote the letter about 3 world wars, were the third ones between Zionism and Islam, go figure. From that return to this supposed attack by Hamas, 283 days into his return to office, when the name of the event where the tragedy happened, the Reem Music Festival Massacre, is 283. And they keep showing you little video clips of the dancing Israelis. Remember when that was the joke after 9/11? That the dancing Israelis were there in New Jersey to record the attack before they got sent back to Israel. And remember, New Jersey has the gematria of 119, like Star of David. And this year marked the 119th anniversary of the death of Theodor Herzl, the founder of Zionism. Remember, he died at age 44 years before Israel, when Israel equals 44, like Zion, like Netanyahu, like military. But, yeah, October 17th, Tuesday, again, Tuesday named after Mars, the god of war, will be the day leaving 75 days left in the year. And let me see, it's probably getting pretty close. Israel striking Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. Let's see what time it is in Israel right now. Time in Jerusalem. So it is October 17th there right now. Let me see, is the whole place on the same time zone? It's all going to be, yeah, Tel Aviv, same time. So, here, time in Gaza. It should be the same time. 3:13 a.m. Okay, so it is the day leaving 75 days left there, and all day their headline's been anticipating, so now that we're actually into the middle of the night on the day leaving 75 days left in the year, now Israel's striking targets, and it looks like they're broadening the war, right? Now they're going into Lebanon and going after the other supposed faction, Hezbollah. But we'll see all what comes out of today, and then here's the other piece. You know, the day leaving 75 days left in the year makes a lot of sense. But the next day, October 18th, well, that's the anniversary of Event 201. We all know what Event 201 is. That's also the anniversary of Gerald Ford. If you don't know what Event 201 is, you're definitely brand new here. Welcome to the channel. But October 18th is also the day Gerald Ford in 1989 said how we'd get the first female president. Remember, Biden just sent off the USS Gerald Ford, our newest Navy battleship. But again, if you've never seen Gerald Ford's prediction, he said there'll be an old man in office and he will die and we'll get the first female president. And then he said that in the Herbert Hoover Library, and Kamala Harris was born on the exact same day Herbert Hoover died. And we predicted that since this was the 59th election and Biden picked Kamala in a 59 ritual, and we had that predicted before it even happened, but we said when Kamala turns 59, which is October 20th, there might be some really crazy stuff happening in the world, so check the box again for another correct prediction. And anyhow, October 18th is also the day leaving 74 days left in the year. And remember the dates like Luke 10:18, where Satan comes to earth. Again, synagogue of Satan, 223, 2023, Israel, the ongoing rituals. But October 18th leaves 74 days left in the year. Again, Gaza's 74 years old. The Superior General's 74 years old. Israel was 74 before it turned 75 on May 14th. Again, the words Jewish 74, Muhammad 74, Jesus 74, Cross, Messiah, Gospel, Parables, Occult, Masonic, English, Gematria, London. All of these words are 74. The word killing is 74. The word stabbing is 74. The Ides of March to remember the killing of Caesar by stabbing on the 74th day of the year. We're on the Roman Catholic Church's calendar. Romans 74. All roads lead to Rome. All of these rituals going back to the time of the destruction of the temples, The first by Nebuchadnezzar, the second by Rome. And recently, Wikipedia has changed that Nebuchadnezzar's death date is October 7th. Go figure. The last building to fall on 9/11, the Solomon Brothers building, Solomon's Temple, the two temples, Tisha B'Av, 9/11 in Jewish gematria to remember the destruction of the temples, everything that's going on. It's all paying tribute to this history, and they just keep doing the same stuff over and over again with the same number patterns, with the same dates. The World Trade Centers were on the 74th meridian, case in point. So 10/18 is the Event 201 simulation anniversary, the Gerald Ford prediction. 74, a big number. 3 of the first 5 U.S. presidents dead on 7/4. This nation's birthday, 7/4. Of course, the word holiday, 74. So is Independence Day, the small way. But yeah, I think the next couple of days, it's going to go on beyond that. But I just think, these are the days they're probably planning to make things a lot heavier. Event 201. Remember, the Jesuit order equals 201. The Holy Bible equals 201. State of Israel equals 201. The first Jesuit Pope, the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican. David Ben-Gurion did 201 days after the anniversary of Israel's establishment. Netanyahu stepped down on June 13th, 2021, the day leaving 201 days left in the year. Came back on 12/29. 1229, the 201st prime. Same stuff over and over. So other dates beyond just the ones that are right next to us. Again, you got the 106th birthday of the Balfour Declaration coming up on November 2nd. Prophecies 106. The New York Times articles from 10/6. The Yom Kippur War began on 10/6, 33 years after that article about the New World Order pledge to Jews. The word prophecy 106, fulfilling biblical prophecy by contriving it, what is being done. But after November 2nd, then November 5th is Guy Fawkes Day, when the Jesuits tried to blow up British Parliament. The history of Britain, the sun never sets on Britain, a lot of places still being Britain, from Israel to the United States, Israel under British occupation, before it became the Jewish state after the World Wars. And again, you had this major assassination of this Zionist political figure, Meir Kahane, in Manhattan in 90. And I was thinking this year is going to be the 33rd anniversary of his assassination. And he was a big part of the reason, he's a big part of the reason that Gaza's become what Gaza's become, because of the policies he advocated for. And he's the guy who mainly coined the term never again. And there's a lot of things that are interesting about his name gematria. If you've been watching recent videos, we've been talking about why October 7th, why it's important. It leaves 85 days left in the year, and why Biden gave his speech on the war in Israel exactly 85 weeks after his speech on the war in Ukraine. And his name in gematria actually equals Guy Fawkes Day, forwards and backwards. I got a typo here, but the actual spelled out correct way is the same, and he was killed on Guy Fawkes Day. Day was made popular through V for Vendetta film. The title of what happened to him, Assassination of Meir Kahane, 104, big number right now, 10-4 emergency alert, Jerusalem 104, 104th NFL season. His birth name was Martin David Kahane, which is 74, go figure. Also 106, again the 106th birthday of the Balfour Declaration coming right up. And again, just the 33rd anniversary of his assassination in New York. New York 33, like order, like secrecy, like masonry, like false flag. Like how in 1968, 33 years before 2001, 911 made the national emergency dialing code. World Trade Center construction began in New York, and the rest of the things that fit in with that list that came together in 2001, including the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey. The Quran code being discovered that year in 68, where the Quran centered on the number 19, only for there to be 19 hijackers, and the lead hijacker born on the first day of the 9th month in 1968. In light of him being killed on Guy Fawkes Day, the day leaving 56 days left in the year, remember, Society of Jesus is 56, like Abrahamic's 56. David Ben-Gurion died in 73, 56 days after the Yom Kippur War began. The planes on 9/11, you add up the flights that hit targets, 1177 and 175, they add up to 263, the 56th prime. But check this out. His full name that he changed his name to, Meir David Hakowin Kahane Full name is 187, like Society of Jesus, like Holy Roman Empire, like Brotherhood of Death, like Abrahamic, like the 187 chapters in the Torah. Full name is 106. Again, we're coming up on the 106th Balfour Declaration anniversary, 33 years after his assassination. Just like how the New York Times pledged the New World Order to the Jews in their story on 10/6, 33 years before the Yom Kippur War began on the same day. His name in reverse is 407, a bit like 47, like the year Israel was drawn up. And his name in reverse is 119. And again, this year, 2023, 119 years after the father of Zionism died, Star of David, 119. Orthodox, 119. Ashkenazi Jews, 119. It's the 11th president and 9th prime minister of Israel right now. It's being compared to the 11th of September. The 119th World Series is upon us. By the way, both big Texas numbers hit in back-to-back days with the Texas Astros series. Again, learn gematria, get ahead of the ball games. Remember the whole Revelation theme right now. Again, the Catholic Bible. 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament. That's why Israel was created on the 14th day of the 5th month. But 73 books in the Catholic Bible. Netanyahu is 73 years old right now, tail end of being 73. It's being compared to the Yom Kippur War of 73. David Ben-Gurion died in 73. Biden became senator in 73. The World Trade Centers opened in 73. Gaza in Gematria equals 73. And the week of Israel's 73rd birthday, they bombed the living daylights out of Gaza, the land of the children. Theodore Herzl equals 73. Founder of Zionism. He died on July 3rd, 73. David Ben-Gurion equals 73. And he died again at the end of 73 on December 1st. Same day in history, Aleister Crowley died, but Aleister Crowley died in 47, the year Israel was drawn up. And again, Aleister Crowley had the occult religion worshiping the number 93, like Israel was drawn up on September 3rd, like how Knesset equals 93, like how Iron Dome equals 93, like how the other year when Shimon Peres died at age 93, all the world leaders were there, and then they left on September 29th, the day leaving 93 days left in the year. With all the talk of beasts, again, CNN and Fox keep having on this guy on from the IDF. His name almost looks like Jonathan Circus, but he keeps referring to the opposition as beasts, and Netanyahu's doing the same thing, calling them human beasts. Again, the Revelation parallel is clear. The word beast is 11. The 11th month isn't that far away. You got these big anniversaries coming up. So I noticed that David Ben-Gurion died exactly 45 weeks after Joe Biden became senator-elect, and Joe Biden is number 46, like Catholic equals 46, elected 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, but Joe Biden's also the 45th person to be president, and Holy Bible equals 45. Again, David Ben-Gurion died exactly 45 weeks after Biden became senator-elect, and like I've been saying the whole time, it's because none of these nations are sovereign. They're all being controlled by this same cabal. One person's gain is another person's death. It's the way it works in this sick Illuminati cult. And don't forget, the Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt, who was a Jewish man. Order of Illuminati equals 201. He died 201 days after the anniversary of its establishment. Just like State of Israel's 201, and David Ben-Gurion died 201 days after the anniversary of Israel's establishment, May 14th. David Ben-Gurion from Poland, where World War II began. Now, I was looking more into the World Zionist Organization, and I said, aha, that makes sense. World Zionist Organization 333. Saturday Night Live. You just had Pete Davidson open the show with this big thing about Israel. And I mean, let's be honest. Like, has there ever been a person least or less deserving of being on Saturday Night Live? I mean, Saturday Night Live's gotten really bad over the years, but I mean, has this guy made anybody laugh? Ever? I don't know what's funny about this guy. Like, literally nothing. Nothing. Not funny at all. Supposedly his dad died on 9/11. He must have been the only Jew in the World Trade Centers, because the rest of them all got the call not to be there that day. But think about his name too. Pete Davidson, right? Pete Davidson, David's son of David, like the genealogy to Jesus from Judea. That's how it begins in Matthew 1:1. By the way, in Catholic Bibles, the first book that's the Christian book is the 47th book, because there's 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament. 47th book's where the Christian section begins. Christian equals 47 in Gematria, like authority, like government, like they put their hands on the Bibles, like how this nation's birthday is the 4th day of the 7th month, and the Bible was used to genocide the natives as the justification because they were just godless heathens. But God, this guy, it's just like, why is this guy famous? I mean, what is interesting about this guy? Literally nothing. But then I started thinking about it, I'm like, okay, that's why they have all these chosen little puppets up here for just these kind of rituals. And Pete Davidson equals 64, like Israel, like Zion. Davidson equals Jewish. His full name, Peter Michael Davidson, equals 112, like Catholicism, like Judaism, like Zionist, like the Balfour Declaration on 11/2. And from his birthday to his address about, why we need to care about what's going on in Israel, 333 days later. 333 days, right? 333, just like World Zionist Organization. And then Donald Trump, there's Donald Trump, who visited the Western Wall when he first became president. Remember, he went to Jerusalem for Jerusalem Day, and then he was at the Vatican on the most Jesuit day, right next to Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope. But look, from Trump visiting the Western Wall May 22nd, 2017 in Israel, to Israel declaring war the day after the attack on October 8th, exactly 333 weeks. I wonder what's going on here. Again, 333 to divide the 3 Abrahamic religions, all these rituals. So, go figure. Go figure. Also, just in light of again, Hamas is 35 years old right now, and war was declared by Israel 35 days before the Superior General's birthday, and Gaza equals 35 in Gematria, where they're going into because of it, and Catholic equals 35, and Holy See, and Jesuitism in Europe, and Satan and Baphomet. And again, that's the history of the Knights Templar, the old military or the Catholic Church. That's why the Templar cross on the Jesuit logo, but that the Templars were worshiping Baphomet. So they were burned at the stake on Friday, October 13th, way back in 1307. And all of this is popping off very close, just days before the Friday, October 13th anniversary. Keep in mind, October 13th leaves 79 days left in the year, and Knights Templar equals 79, as does Society of Jesus, as does Christianity. I was looking at when the U.S. government began funding Osama bin Laden's group to create interference with Russia and Afghanistan. It was called Operation Cyclone, and it began in 79. It began in 1979, ended 13 years later. But again, 9/11 happened while Bush was in office, and he was Skull and Bones, and Skull and Bones get their symbolism for how the Templars bury their dead. I mean, just think about it. 79 is the 22nd prime number. October 7th, the day that has a lot to do with the Templars, these rituals with the U.S. invading Afghanistan, and now the war in Israel, 22 years apart. I was noticing Iran, as it is now, was also officially established in 79. Go figure. Go figure. That means it's 44 years later. Officially established on April Fool's Day. But 44 years later, big military number. Remember the words military, soldier, infantry, trooper, officer. They all have that gematria 44, like the word execution, like the word kill, like the word gunfire, like the word mass shooter. Couldn't tell you how many times over the years there's been a mass shooter on a 44 date numerology that they told you was former military. Okay. Just how long they kept up this story with different pictures of abyss in the Middle East. Again, abyss is a term used throughout Revelation, including in Revelation 9:11, where Satan comes. And again, we're just days from 10:18, where it's Luke 10:18, where Satan arrives on earth. And the names Abaddon and Apollyon are both interesting in terms of the history of 9/11. For example, Apollyon equals 110, like how many stories the World Trade Centers were. Again, that's in Revelation 9/11. Osama bin Laden's also 110. Right now, we're in the time of the 110th mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, who's talking big about going to war on Israel's behalf. And a lot of people are asking me about Suzanne Summers. Again, we covered Suzanne Summers' death yesterday in the middle of the live stream that wasn't about her, but the news broke while we were covering. And it fit in perfect because she was in Three's Company, like the three Abrahamic religions, and they lived in apartment 201, the Holy Bible 201. Susan Summers equals 54 and 72 like Jesuit order. John Ritter died on September 11th at age 54, and he did the episode about being a Jesuit priest as a joke on May 4th in history. Jesuit priest equals 54 like Jesuit order, matching his age of death on 9/11. In Jewish Gematria, Vatican Hills 9/11. The Jesuits served the Pope. She died at age 76 unexpectedly, and her birthday was today. She died the day before her birthday. She would have turned 77 today. Today leaves 76 days left in the year. So born on the day, leaving 76 days left in the year, dead at 76 the day before her birthday. This nation, 1776. You know what's funny? The ref they have working tonight's game in the NFL, his name, Land Clark in Gematria equals 76. And you should look at the records between those two teams, the Cowboys and the Chargers. Something might stand out to you about it. But she died a span of 153 days from the upcoming anniversary of the start of the show, the Ides of March 15th, 15/3, 153, 153 days. Jesuit order, the Illuminati, Holy Bible, all 153. Miraculous catch of 153 fish. So I think her death and Three's Company and only being down to one remaining one, only Joyce DeWitt, who's 74, still lives. Again, the Albert Pike letter about 3 world wars, the Third World War is supposed to destroy political Zionism and Islam. So I guess the only one remaining would be like, political Christianity, I guess. The whole 73 thing, with all the 73s that we talked about, 73rd book of the Catholic Bible, Revelation, Netanyahu being 73, all of it, David Ben-Gurion, Theodore Herzl, Yom Kippur War. Again, from Yom Kippur's beginning to this war breaking out was 73 days as well. Again, Yom Kippur, to remember the destruction of the 2 temples, also part of the, legacy of the coming 3rd temple, which a lot of people think is really close right now. And what would be the most obvious thing in the world, it'd be like the most painful thing to witness, really, because people would still be ignoring the work. But if they blew up Temple Mount on November 5th, the day that the Jesuits tried to blow up British Parliament, I mean, it would just be more proof of what we already know, that they know that the world's sound asleep and they can just get away with the highest form of mockery and ritual. So let's hope that doesn't happen. And in case you're new here and didn't know this, again, Jacob, who becomes Israel, dies at age 147 in the Bible. This war just broke out on the 147th day of Israel's age. And perfectly synced with, there's a lot of other things we can go back over here, but what's his name? Antony Blinken. Just look how perfect this whole thing's synced with him. Look how perfect it is. He's the 71st Secretary of State. Again, the war popped off 71 days from the Pope's birthday on Putin's 71st birthday. And just the history of funding Islamic extremism to fight other nations. It's so obvious that's what the Hamas thing is. But look at this. Blinken's birthday is the 106th day of the year, the prophecy number, April 16th. And from his birthday to the war was 174 days. And United States Secretary of State's 174. October 7th leaves 85 days left in the year. Antony John Blinken, 85, like Templar, like Jesus Hominum Salvator. The 174 goes with false flag, New World Order, number of the beast. But yeah, these are all perfectly planned rituals. They got all the puppets in just the right spots. And again, this isn't This isn't. It's not even the fault of Islamic extremism. Again, the fault is who's making sure it happens. The fault are the intelligence agencies who find the Islamic extremists. And where do they find these people from? I mean, they're making shows about it, right? They have the Jesuit trained Jack Ryan character. They have now like a high budget Jack Ryan show on Amazon, where they show like how this unnecessary bombing of poor people, killing families, only children surviving, and the children growing up as radical fundamentalists because of what's been going on in these nations in the post-World War eras. It's like they're making shows so that you sympathize with why the terrorists are the terrorists. I mean, and all of this stuff that's been done all of these years that most people just haven't said a peep about or stood up for or stood against, it's just, I mean, this is where the phrase comes from, the chickens are coming home to roost, and we're allowing this sick agenda to go on and escalate. And I mean, we have the knowledge in existence to spread to the world to help people see why we need to stop this in its tracks and why there shouldn't be any soldiers going to fight in these wars. There shouldn't be anybody all revved up right now just ready to charge into Gaza and shoot the first thing moving. But, those people exist too, It's just, so many people have been raised to think that their religion's the most important and the other side's the enemy and they're bad, and, it's just... And I mean, just look over here. It's like, I'm not even Jewish, and I have all these people on the line attacking me, calling me a Jewish shill, a Mossad agent. It's like, I'm definitely not Jewish, I'm not circumcised. Actually, never even been in a synagogue in my life. Raised Lutheran. I've been in a church a ton of times. I've never been in a mosque. I've never been in a synagogue. I can tell you all about churches and cathedrals, though. I've been in those. And again, let's not forget that they've been raising money for some time now to build this third temple. And again, in Gematria, third temple, Herod's temple, Solomon's temple, Jerusalem, they all equal 58. Donald Trump's on that coin to raise money, winner of the 58th election. He was over there on the 58 date numerology for Jerusalem Day after becoming president, and this war started 58 days before the death anniversary of King Cyrus. Again, it's Trump's head and King Cyrus's head on the coin to raise money to build for the third temple. So, and like I said, October 7th was 71 days before the Pope's birthday, and Catholic and Temple and Talmud are all 71, and it's not hard to see where this is going, you guys. World War III is also 71. It's crazy how perfect they got it. So, World War III and Cyrus the Great are also 73, to go with all the 73s we're talking about. Do it the World War I way, it's 75, like Israel's 75, but they're written out both ways, so we might as well look at it both ways, and it's amazing how it's lining up in all ways. It's just like it's way too perfect. We'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. And one other thing that happened in my own personal life today, and it's made things annoying around here. Somehow the trolls were able to track down where Sweet Lady works, and they called her work today, and they hoaxed her, and they freaked her out, and they got her to give up personal information that she shouldn't have. And anyway, she's just super stressed out and annoyed. And somebody called pretending to be the authorities, and they wanted to know my whereabouts because they were coming to arrest me. They did the same thing that the FBI did when they came to my house in 2018. But I followed up with the authorities, and it was a hoax. That's how we figured out it was a hoax. Because when she first called me about it, I wasn't sure if that was real. But I said, that doesn't make sense. I said, let me follow up and see if any of this is true. But yeah, anyway, just Sweet Lady's all stressed out again, and she's just like, see, Zach, it's just not even worth it. I mean, like, not enough people help you, and there's just so many people that just, like, really want to interfere and cause big problems in our life. And I just told her, I said, in the future, I said, I mean, just even when the authorities call, even if they are the real authorities, just hang up the phone. They're not coming for you, so. But yeah, again, I just want to remind people, in 2018 when this happened, and until 2018 I never tried to raise any money for my work, but in 2018 when the FBI came to our house and falsely accused me of doing things that I'd never done, and it was really just to intimidate me from doing this work, Sweet Lady really wanted me to stop, because we'd put up with so much. The car crashing through the house on Christmas Eve, the burglaries, the harassment, the threats, the dead squirrels on the porch, all the weird stuff that had been going on, people harassing me online, in person, and again, I don't intend to quit, but What allowed Sweet Lady to get off my back then was the people, because I that was the first time I asked for financial support, and people backed it up and supported it. So thank you to all these people who've supported over the years. But again, Sweet Lady, she's really upset. She wants me to quit all the way again, because she's just like, Zach, it's just going to get worse. If you're right about everything, they're going to harass us. We don't know what'll happen next. And now that it shows that they know where I work. I don't know how they figured out where her place of work. They might have been calling every single place like it around, or I don't know. But anyway, the thing is, you guys, I'm not going to quit, but I might just chill out a little bit on the content production, just because she's stressed out right now about what happened today. So anyhow, the trolls, you guys are, those of you who do this are literally just like horrible freaking people. I mean, you guys remind me why whatever's coming for a lot of you guys, it is deserved. Shout out to Gematria's Key 123. They said, I find it funny that the Super Bowl 58 stadium's nickname is the Death Star, which is the super weapon that can wipe out a planet in Star Wars. And George Lucas has the same birthday as Israel. Interesting. And again, it's Super Bowl 58, and you had the Route 91 Harvest Festival shooting on the day, leaving 91 days left in the year, where they said 58 people died 58 days from the governor's birthday, which was August 5th. And by the way, before that happened, all year we spelled out why there's going to be the biggest false flag since 9/11. That's what I kept saying. And how it was connected to Yom Kippur. And isn't it funny now how it's the 104th NFL season and Super Bowl 58 and Jerusalem's 104 and 58 and the Super Bowl's in Sin City and all these wars breaking out on Saturdays, from recently to the Yom Kippur War, Saturday, Saturn, Synagogue Day. Anyhow, I didn't know that about the Death Star, though. I'll look more into that. Thank you again, 13 Serpents. And shout out to Rum Ham Solo. Star Wars overload today. Fake alien invasion. They can't use weapons that destroy the realm. Oh, look, spaceships deactivate. Save the world. Okay, interesting. Some kind of Star Wars theme today, so. All right, but thanks again, True Seeker. And you know what? The other day I got excited. I thought a bunch of new people supported the work. In fact, hardly any new people supported the work. But for some reason, Patreon started showing a new stat. There's now a new thing that says supporters. It's not actually people that pledge money, but there's like some way you can support the page without donating. That's got a big number. But it's not additional financial support, so. Anyway, still, thank you to the people who do support the work. I wish more people did. Again, you know, if we are on the verge of World War and things are about to change as we know it, in case it is that far, the thing that I feel good about is that I busted my ass the last 10 years and put out relevant knowledge and helped out a lot of people and was proven correct. I mean, I've been absolutely correct about everything I came with. And for every troll who tried to take a clip of that and then show things I've been wrong about, you're a moron. I've been right about everything. Right dead on about COVID, what was coming this year with the war with Israel, why 2020 was going to be a horrible year, years in advance, how rigged the last election would be, how rigged the one before that was. Again, saw it all before it happened, taught the knowledge to prove the point, and it's a damn shame that more of the world didn't help me out and get out the word. But before it came to as far as we are right now, you know? Had people gotten behind what I was talking about, like they should have, probably could have just debunked the whole COVID thing right in its tracks. Saved the world from that misery. All the lost businesses and lives and the growth of Walmart and Costco and Amazon. But anyway, the sad part about this time was there was very few people who had eyes to see. And most people were just straight up lemmings that could only let the TV do their thinking for them. So congrats to all of you who are not that. And we'll leave it there for now. Till next time, True Seeker.